Good morning, students. In the last session, we discussed the poem The Cold Within, a poem written by James Patrick Kinney. We saw in this poem the 6 human beings who were trapped by chance in a biting cold on a bitter cold night. The fire is singing and it is in need of logs to be kept alive. Each of them has a log of wood in their hand, but they have an excuse for not putting the log into the fire. We saw the first 3 persons. The first person in the group was a woman who did not want to put the log of wood into the fire because she saw someone who is black and she was a white person. And the second person in the group was a person who found someone who does not belong to his own religious community, therefore holds his log of wood with him. And then we saw the two of them had an excuse for not putting the log of wood into the fire. Now let us see the next stanza. So let us see the next stanza. We have here the third one sat in tattered clothes. He gave his cart a hitch. Why should his log be put to use to warm the idle rich? So let us see the difficult words in this stanza. We shall see the difficult words in this stanza. Let us see the first one we have here. Tattered clothes. What does it mean? Tattered clothes. Tattered means rags or old clothes. Gave his cart a hitch means tightened his cart. He pulled his cart and made it tighten. It means that his meanness, the character that it shows. And then next one, idle rich. Idle rich means a person who is rich but do not work hard. That somebody who becomes rich by not doing hard work. So that's a idle rich. So here we see in this stanza the poet wants to say about the next person. So here we see in the third stanza the third one is a poor man. That is why I said the third one is tattered clothes, means a poor person who sits in tattered clothes. That means in old rags. To protect himself from freezing cold, he gives his cart a hitch. That means he tightens his cart, he make it proper. He does not use his dog to prevent the rich man sitting there from getting warm. See, what does he do? Why should I give my log of wood in order to warm the rich idle man? So he said he did not give the log of wood because he did not want to warm the rich man who was sitting in the group. Now let us see the next stanza. Next stanza, the rich man just sat back and thought of the wealth he had in store and how to keep what he had earned from the lazy, shiftless poor. So let's see what the difficult words in this stanza is. Here the poet says about how to keep the what he had earned from the lazy. Here the lazy means one who do not work. Okay, here next one, shiftless. Shiftless means without ambition, people who without aim, ambition in that life. So let us see here what does the poet say in this stanza. The rich man just sat back and thought. So here we see the old in the previous stanza we saw the poor man did not want to give the wood because he did not want to warm the rich man. So the opposite here happens. The rich man thinks, why should I put my log into the fire in order to warm this lazy poor people? So he says, why should I put this? He thinks of his wealth. On the other hand, he is sitting comfortably and thinking about his wealth. And he is thinking how all that wealth he had in store and how to keep it safe. He is worried about that. How to keep it safe from whom? From the lazy, shiftless poor. So here the poet says all five of them. Now we saw 5 persons. First one was a woman. Second one was a person who saw somebody from the other religion. The third one was a poor man who did not want to give away uh, his log of wood for the sake of rich man. And then the next one was a rich man who did not want to give the log of wood in order to warm the uh, poor man. So we saw all of them are having an excuse in order to keep the log of wood with them. Now let us see the next stanza. The black man's face bespoke revenge as the fire passed from his sight. For all he saw in his stick of wood was a chance to spite the white. So let's see the difficult words here. We don't have much difficult words, but one or two what we have, we shall see. The next one, bespoke. What's meaning bespoke? Here we see bespoke means showed, expressed. Then second one we have another word, spite. What's the meaning? The hatred feeling. Here white means the white people. So here we see the black man's face bespoke revenge, means he wanted to show his revenge to whom? As the fire passed from his sight, for he saw in his stick of wood was a chance to spite the white. That means he saw a white person sitting among the 6 person, and then he saw it a chance to take a revenge on the white man. So we see here in this stanza, the black man's face bespoke revenge as the fire passed from his sight. So he saw, he was full of revenge when he saw somebody, for he saw in his stick of wood a chance to spite the white. So he saw that stick of wood was a chance for him to show the revenge towards the white people. We already saw in the first one that woman did not give the wood because there was a black man. Now the black man takes in turn. Black man's face looks revengeful, and the only thing visible to him in his stick is a chance to harm the white person. So now let us see the next stanza. Here we have the last man of his forlorn group did not accept for gain, giving only to those who gave was how he played the game. So let's see, now he did not have a particular reason. What here the difficult words we shall see here. The last man of this forlorn group. What does forlorn group mean? The lonely group. Not means nothing. We already saw in the last lesson. Not means nothing. Then we have got gain. The word here gain means we have a word saying something profitable. So here the last man of this forlorn group did not accept for gain. He wanted to do anything for gain only. So here we see the last man of this lonely group does nothing except something for his benefit. So he did not do anything without having a gain, a profit, giving only to those who gave. So he was waiting for somebody else to put the wood into the fire, and then he thought he would put. So he said, what rules him is selfishness. He was so selfish because he did not want to be the first person to give. He waited for somebody else to give. And he gives only to those who give him something back in return. Therefore, we see that all 6 of them had a reason to hold the stick with them. And then we see the last stanza. So here we have the last stanza. Their locks held tight in death's still hands was proof of human sin. They did not die from the cold without, they died from the cold within. So let's see the difficult words in this stanza. Cold without. What does it mean in cold without? That means the cold from outside. What does it mean in cold within? Cold within means the cold from inside. That means the lack of human feelings like generosity, selfless service, kindness, and so on. So here these two becomes the main theme of the poem, that all six of them died not because of the cold from outside but from the cold from within. So we see the meaning of this stanza. Their locks held tight in death's still hand. That means even at the moment of their death, they held the stick so close, so tight in their hand, was a proof of human sin. So that log of wood in their hand was the proof that it was a sin. What was a sin? The wood was. So you see their locks being held tight in their hands. The locks being held tight in their hands invites death for themselves. It is nothing but a proof of human sin, that holding of the stick is a sin by not giving it into the fire to keep it burning. So the poem ends with a note that these six people die not from the freezing cold from outside, but the cold within, lack of human touch from their heart. So we see all of them die not because of the biting cold, but because of the cold within, lack of human feeling, lack of generosity, lack of kindness. So they all of them die because of this. So we have the explanation of the stanzas. Stanza 1 to 3 already I had given you in the last class. Here we have a stanza 4, 5, 6, 7, and then in the next page we have a stanza 8. I hope you will understand them when you go through once again. It's a very simple poem. You need to learn all six persons in order. Who comes first? First is a woman, then second one, then third one, then fourth one, then fifth one, then sixth one. Who the person is and why they did not give the wood into the fire. The reason. And the cold within. The reason for the selfishness, the revenge. Various reasons are given for each different person. So you must learn the map. Once you understand the reason for not giving up the log of wood into the fire, you will be able to solve the questions in the. We have here the last stanza, that is stanza 8. We can you can read it once again. When you read it, you must read the stanza, the poem, and then you must read the explanation of it. Only then you will be able to understand it better. If you simply read the paragraph, you will not be able to understand. So you have the poem once again here. All the 8 stanzas. We have altogether 8 stanzas, and then 3 stanzas we had already seen in the last class. Then we have got the next stanzas. So when you read, you must first read the stanza and then go to the stanza wise explanation. Already I have given you 1 to 3 yesterday in the last session, and then today we have got the explanation of stanza 4 to 8. We will come back with the rest of the explanation in the next lesson. Till then, read them, understand them, stay home, stay safe, and try to understand the lesson. Thank you.